Activity 5.5 part number 6 is going to be for this wheel. You can see it's got a rubber outside, and then it's got some ribs on the inside that are right in the very center. There's this really thin one that goes all the way around, and these little kind of square ones that go out almost to the end, but not quite out to the end. And so we're gonna make this part using things a little bit different than we've been doing because we want to make sure everything starts from the middle and builds outside. So first we will make a new part, create a sketch, and draw this inside circle. The outer diameter of it is 1.65. So there's my circle. And then I'm going to do another circle that starts in the center like that. And dimension from one circle to the other will let me set up the thickness of the part. So this thickness is 0.1 inches, and that's going to be my wheel. So now I'm going to do an extrusion and extrude this portion of it, but I don't want the part to grow from one side or from the other. I want it to grow from the center. So I'm going to change direction to symmetric. And then you can see if I drag on the part, it's going to leave the sketch in the middle and get bigger and smaller sideways. This part is a ½ inch thick, so 0.5, but the default is for the half length, which means it would go 0.5 forward and also 0.5 backwards. We want it to go 0.5 total, so we'll change this to whole length, and that will leave the whole thing a ½ inch thick. Now what we're going to do is go in and modify that sketch to add the inside rib. And so I'm going to make another circle that's also concentric, has the same center, and dimension this one. And I'm going to make that 0.04. So it doesn't come out very far. I'll stop that sketch. And if I want to do an extrusion, I need to turn it on so I can see it. So come back and hit the light bulb, turn it back on. And this time we're going to extrude this portion of it. Again, we want it to grow from the center, so we'll do symmetric. We'll do full thickness. And then you can see that it's going to grow this little rib from the inside. We don't want it very thick. In fact, 0.1 is too thick. We're going to make it 0.05 for the total thickness. So there's the inside rib. So the last step is going to be to add the ribs on the inside of this. So again, we'll go into the sketch. This time we're going to add some lines that come up to form our little kind of squarish trapezoid region in here that we're going to extrude. So first I'll create a line. This one's going to be a construction line because we're not actually going to use it to build anything. And then we're going to make two more lines that also go from the center. So one up and to the right side, one up and to the left side. And then we'll dimension those because they're each going to be 4 degrees away from the center. So a dimension from our construction line to the line on the right, 4 degrees. From the line on the left to our construction line, 4 degrees. And now this section right in here is going to be our rib. So we'll stop the sketch, choose extrude, and then the profile that I want is this one right here. Now, if you didn't make that a construction line, you'd have to pick both halves of this because the line would cut it in the middle, but with a construction line, it'll leave the entire thing where you can use that whole part. And one last time, this is going to be symmetric, full width, and this one is going to be 0.45 thick, so it doesn't go all the way out to the end. And we need to make sure that we do that as a join so that it does create that rib. And so there you can see we have the rib that goes most of the way out, not quite all the way out. Turn off the sketch. So there's one rib. Now we need 14 more. So the easiest way to make the other 14 is with a circular pattern. So we'll come down to pattern, circular, I'm going to click down here on that last feature. And then for the axis, I'm going to pick this axis that's coming out that I have right in the center and tell it that I want 15 total. Click OK, and there's my wheel with all 15 of those ribs sticking out. The last thing I'm going to do is just change the appearance and pick this matte green, drop that on there, and now it looks just like that wheel that we've been using.